Hi everyone, bit of a road trip today. I'm pretty well fully charged, 308 miles, 310 I think is what it should be. But it's been charging overnight, it's been pretty slow in the last hour or two. So big road trip today, about 154 miles I need to do today. Well, basically 154 there and 154 back. So I've put in the location I'm going to, and it's saying I'm going to be minus 27% when I get home. So obviously I need to supercharge on the way back. So it's plotted the route, so that's where I'm going up here, and on the way back I'm guessing it's going to stop me at Stoke-on-Trent, which I think is Keele Services, or down in Stratford at the supercharger there. So we'll see what happens, but what I can do, if I bring up the energy on here, it basically says, look, at the start of your trip you're 99% full, and by the time you get to your, presumably our first waypoint, which is where I'm going up north, I'm going to be at 36%. There are chargers where I'm going, but I'm going to try and avoid them just as the experiment, so I can use the supercharger on the way home and see what happens. Okay, so see you later. So meeting's finished, back in the car. So I've got 94 miles left. I had to turn off Sentry mode because it was losing a few miles as I was watching it while I was in the meeting, so I turned that off to conserve a bit of battery. So I'm now going to navigate home, and it should tell us which superchargers I need to stop at and how long for. So let's see what it says. Home's down here, that's where I am at the moment. I know there are 3 superchargers around here. It's going to tell me to stop off at the Keele one. There we go. So stop off at Keele for 20 minutes. I'll get there with 22%, 25-minute charge, and I'll get home at 3:30 with 17% left on my battery. So it's pretty good. So begin the trip, and then check that. Yep. And then here then. So the next supercharger is 20 odd miles away, so I'll get there 22%. And because it knows I'm going there, it should start warming up the battery if it needs to be conditioned ready for supercharging. So let's see what happens when we get there in, what, 25 minutes time. Okay, just pulled up in Keele Services. There we go. So let's open that charge point and see what happens. In the meantime, so my road trip so far, I've averaged 319 watt-hours per mile, and since large charge, yes, this morning, and then since I left my previous destination, 293 watt-hours per mile. So it's pretty good. So let's go and plug it in and see what happens. Okay, we've got CCS, so let's pull that guy off, press the button, off. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look, see what I get. So there's no one else in this bay. I've got 2 Model S's to the side of me, but not in the same bays, so I should get full speed. 105 miles range per hour, 26 kilowatts, that's not very good, is it? Not good at all. Right, I've had a quick Subway and a soda. I've been watching the rate from inside the service station, and it's increased a little bit, but now unfortunately I've got a Model X next to me, so I don't know if that's stealing some of my power on this supercharger pair, if that's still relevant anymore. The rate's still not amazing. I was expecting kind of near 100. So here for another 20 minutes. I could go to Warwick, or I might stop charging and get home at a slightly more risky power level. So we'll see what happens in the next 5 minutes and I'll make a decision then. Okay, so about 3 or 4 minutes ago, the rate really jumped up for some reason. I got no idea why. So now I'm getting a pretty decent 91 kilowatts, charging at 375 miles range per hour. So I've only got 5 minutes left, which is pretty cool. And then if you go here, you can then see it's now actually got, when I get home, I'll have 10%. So in theory I could leave, but I'm just going to give it a few more minutes. Because I'm not risk averse like that. So yeah, see you at home. Right, back home, just pulled in. Estimation was pretty good. I was slightly better than they forecast, maybe because of the 50-mile-an-hour limits and safe driving. What else? Yeah, the warning kind of, the battery bar went yellow 2 or 3 miles away. £7.80 at the last charger, the Supercharger. But if we look at, this is quite useful, if we look at this guy down here, so since the Supercharger, pretty good efficiency, 289, 131 miles, 38 kilowatt hour used. But in total, so go 310 miles, 95 kilowatt hours and 306 watt hours per mile. I don't know if that's good or not. So I'm going to plug it in now, and it'll probably take till about 3 o'clock in the morning charging. So there we go.